Trust is the invisible thread that weaves together the fabric of all meaningful relationships. It is the silent foundation upon which love, respect, and connection stand tall. Without it, no bond can endure, no matter how strong it may appear on the surface. Trust is not a luxury, it is a necessity, and yet it is often the most fragile element in our relationships. The irony is profound. It takes years to build trust, but only moments to shatter it. This makes it both priceless and precarious. In a world where deception can be as effortless as breathing, the choice to trust and to be trustworthy becomes a profound act of courage. Consider this, trust is not a one-time deposit. It is a continuous investment. It requires you to show up every day with integrity, honesty, and a willingness to be vulnerable. These qualities are the building blocks of trust, and without them, the strongest relationships will falter. Honesty, in particular, is a cornerstone. It is not just about telling the truth, but living in alignment with it. When your words and actions are consistent, they create a sanctuary of safety for the people around you. There is something deeply reassuring about someone whose actions match their promises. Someone who is as steady as the ground beneath your feet. Yet honesty is not just about big, dramatic truths. It's about the small, everyday moments when you choose to be transparent, when you admit your mistakes instead of justifying them, when you express your feelings instead of suppressing them. You create a space where trust can flourish. The truth may be uncomfortable at times, but it is always liberating. Lies, on the other hand, are chains that slowly but surely suffocate the spirit of a relationship. To be honest is to set yourself and others free. Clear communication is another pillar of trust, yet it is often overlooked. How often do misunderstandings arise not because of ill intent, but because of unspoken words and assumptions? Communication is the bridge that connects hearts and minds. It is the antidote to doubt and confusion. To communicate effectively, you must listen with the intent to understand, not to respond. You must speak with clarity and kindness, even when the conversation is difficult. Remember, silence can be as damaging as words when it leaves room for doubt and insecurity. Accountability is the backbone of trust. It is the willingness to take responsibility for your actions, to own your mistakes without defensiveness or excuses. It is the ability to say, I was wrong and I will make it right, and then follow through on that promise. Accountability is not a sign of weakness. It is a testament to your strength and character. When you are accountable, you become reliable, and reliability is a rare and precious gift in a world where so many people are quick to shift blame or abandon commitments. Think about the relationships in your life where trust is unshakable. What makes them so? Is it not the consistent actions of those who show up for you time and time again? Reliability is not about perfection. It is about consistency. It is about being someone others can count on, even in the face of adversity. It is about showing up, not just when it is convenient, but when it matters most. Trustworthy people are those who keep their promises, who honor their commitments, and who value their word as their bond. But let us not forget the role of empathy in building trust. Empathy is the ability to step into someone else's shoes and feel their emotions as if they were your own. It is a powerful force that can break down walls of misunderstanding and build bridges of connection. When you are empathetic, you create a space where others feel seen, heard, and valued. Empathy is not about agreeing with everything someone says or does. It is about validating their experience and showing that you care. Trust grows when people know that their feelings and perspectives matter to you. Vulnerability is another key, though it is often misunderstood as weakness. In truth, vulnerability is the gateway to trust. It is the courage to expose your authentic self, flaws and all, to another person. It is saying, here I am, in all my imperfection, and trusting that you will not be judged or rejected. Vulnerability creates intimacy because it invites others to do the same. When you are willing to be vulnerable, you send a powerful message. I trust you enough to show you my true self. And in return, you create an environment where trust can thrive. However, vulnerability without boundaries can be dangerous. Trust is not blind. It is discerning. It is essential to be wise about who you trust and to what extent. Not everyone has earned the right to your vulnerability. Trust should be given cautiously and withdrawn wisely. This is not cynicism. It is self-preservation. As the saying goes, trust but verify. Rebuilding trust after it has been broken is one of the hardest things to do, but it is not impossible. It requires patience, humility, and a genuine commitment to change. It requires the person who broke the trust to take full responsibility for their actions and to work tirelessly to regain it. And it requires the person who was hurt to be willing to forgive, though not blindly or instantly. Forgiveness is not about erasing the past. It is about choosing to move forward without carrying the weight of resentment. Trust is not a static entity. It evolves and deepens over time. It is tested in moments of crisis and reinforced in acts of kindness and understanding. It is built in the small, consistent actions that show you care, and it is preserved through mutual respect and integrity. Trust is not just something you have. It is something you build, brick by brick, day by day. Let me leave you with this thought. Trust is both a gift and a responsibility. When someone places their trust in you, they are giving you something incredibly precious. They are saying, I believe in you. I feel safe with you. And it is your responsibility to honor that trust, to protect it as if it were the most valuable thing in the world, because it is. And the more you build that relationship with someone, the more that will open up. So as you navigate your relationships, ask yourself, are you building bridges or burning them? Are you creating a sanctuary of safety for those you care about? Are you investing in trust with your actions, your words, and your choices? The answers to these questions will determine the depth and strength of your relationships. Trust, after all, is the foundation of everything that truly matters. Trust is not a feeling. It is a decision, a choice that must be renewed and nurtured every single day. It is not something that simply exists. It is something that must be cultivated, like a delicate garden that needs care, attention, and time to flourish. Trust is fragile, yet it is the cornerstone of every relationship that holds any meaning. Without trust, there can be no real connection, no enduring partnership, no foundation strong enough to weather the inevitable storms of life. It is trust that turns ordinary interactions into lifelong commitments, that transforms fleeting connections into bonds unshaken by time or circumstance. The power of trust lies in its ability to create a sense of safety. When you trust someone, you lower your defenses and allow them to see who you truly are. This act, this lowering of the walls we so often build around ourselves, is one of profound courage. It says, I am willing to be vulnerable with you because I believe in your goodness, your integrity, your reliability. And when that trust is honored, it becomes a force that binds two people together in a way that is both beautiful and unbreakable. But make no mistake, trust is not given lightly, nor should it be. Trust is earned through action, through consistency, and through a shared commitment to honesty and respect. There is something transformative about vulnerability in the context of trust. It is not a sign of weakness, but of strength. To open yourself up to another person, to reveal your fears, your dreams, your imperfections, requires immense courage. It is a statement of faith. A belief that the person you are entrusting will hold your vulnerability with care. And when this act of faith is reciprocated, it creates a bond that is nearly unshakable. Trust allows us to be human with one another, to strip away the masks and pretense and to say, this is who I am, and I trust you enough to show you. Reliability is the backbone of trust, the trait that assures others they can count on you no matter the circumstances. It is about being a person of your word, someone who does what they say they will do. Reliability is not about grand gestures. It is about the small, consistent acts that communicate dependability. It is being there when you said you would be, following through on promises, and showing up even when it is inconvenient. In a world full of broken promises and unmet expectations, reliability is a rare and precious gift. It says, you can count on me. I will not let you down. And in saying that, you offer something invaluable, a sense of security and stability. Empathy plays a profound role in building trust. To truly trust someone, you must feel that they understand you, not just on a superficial level, but in a way that touches the core of who you are. Empathy is the ability to step into someone else's world, to feel what they feel, to see the world through their eyes. It is not about agreeing with everything they think or do. It is about acknowledging their perspective and validating their experience. Empathy creates a bridge of understanding that allows trust to flow freely. When you know that someone genuinely cares about you, that they take the time to listen and understand, you are far more likely to trust them. But trust is not a one-sided equation. It requires reciprocity. You cannot demand trust from others while withholding it yourself. To build a relationship rooted in trust, both parties must be willing to meet in the middle. They must both be willing to be honest, reliable, empathetic, and vulnerable. Trust is not about perfection. It is about effort. It is about showing up every day with the intention to build something meaningful and enduring. It is about acknowledging mistakes and making amends, about recognizing the humanity in one another and choosing to trust despite the risks. Clear communication is another crucial element of trust. Misunderstandings and assumptions are often the root of mistrust. When communication is unclear or inconsistent, it creates gaps that doubt and suspicion quickly fill. To communicate clearly is to remove those gaps, to ensure that your words align with your intentions. It is about being transparent, about saying what you mean and meaning what you say. It is about asking questions when you are unsure and clarifying when things are unclear. Good communication does not just build trust, it maintains it. Forgiveness is an essential but often overlooked aspect of trust. No one is perfect, and even the most trustworthy people will occasionally make mistakes. What matters is how those mistakes are handled. When trust is broken, it is painful, but it is not always irreparable. Forgiveness is the choice to move forward, to rebuild what was broken, to give someone the chance to earn your trust again. It is not about forgetting or ignoring the hurt, but about choosing to let go of resentment and work towards reconciliation. Forgiveness requires immense strength, but it is also a profound act of trust in itself, a trust in the possibility of change and growth. Trust, however, is not blind. It is not naive or indiscriminate. True trust requires discernment. Not everyone is worthy of your trust, and not every relationship can or should be salvaged. There are times when trust is broken beyond repair, and the most compassionate thing you can do for yourself is to walk away. To trust wisely is to protect yourself while still remaining open to the possibility of connection. It is to understand that trust, while essential, is not owed, it is earned. Rebuilding trust, when possible, is one of the most challenging yet rewarding endeavors you can undertake. It requires patience, effort, and an unwavering commitment to growth. It requires the person who broke the trust to take full responsibility for their actions, to demonstrate through consistent behavior that they are willing to change. And it requires the person who is hurt to open themselves up to the possibility of trusting again. Rebuilding trust is a journey, not a destination. It takes time, but with effort and commitment, it is possible. Ultimately, trust is the foundation of all meaningful relationships. It is what allows us to feel safe, to be vulnerable, to connect on a deep and authentic level. It is not a luxury, but a necessary, not an accident, but a choice. And it is a choice we must make every single day. Trust is fragile, yet resilient, simple, yet profound. It is the glue that holds relationships together and the light that guides them through the darkest of times. So as you reflect on your own relationships, ask yourself, are you someone others can trust? Are you reliable, honest, empathetic, and vulnerable? Are you building trust with your actions, your words, and your choices? Because at the heart of every great relationship is a foundation of trust, and it is up to each of us to lay those bricks with care. Trust is not just something we give or receive, it is something we build, one step at a time. It is the cornerstone of every connection that truly matters, and it is worth every ounce of effort to create and preserve.